center of what the gunpowder plant used to be. California Powder Works was one of the three.
Getting ready to cross Highway 9. Video 4. Monday, August 4th, 2025. Highway 9 right now. Phone box from Southern Pacific days. Approaching, we're now at Rincon. There was a town here called Rincon until 1950. They never expanded this to hook onto this other side over here. Maybe they'll get to it someday. Still using camera 2. Here's the half curve trestle.
The deal was once you got your pay, Henry Cal himself would come and stay in the cook's cabin that was back there. He'd bring gold bullion in the morning, you'd queue up, and he'd give you your year's salary. If you were sick a day, he'd charge you room and board. The only good thing is if you like to eat, he had the cattle ranches. He ate a lot of steak because it was cheap. So lime kilns were a big industry, but the biggest industry of all was lumber. The trees you're looking at now are all secondary growth. The trees that preceded these were the old growth redwoods. We'll see some of those when we get close to Roaring Camp. The guys that dropped the old growth redwoods had to be very good at what they did. See, redwoods is softwood, and if you put it down wrong, it'll split. If it splits, it's understood you're instantly fired. So you had to be incredibly good at it. You and a partner could be working on that tree for 6 days, 6 long days on the work, at work in the dark, 4 a.m. You chop and saw until it was so dark you couldn't see where you're going. You wouldn't cut at the base of the tree. You'd go up 6 or 8 feet, put in a notch, stand on a springboard, and you chop and notch and move back and forth and pray that the tree was going to fall into the cradle, because you'd probably create a cradle for it. You drag oaks and madrones, hardwoods, into the path of the tree to further ensure that it didn't split. Most lumber companies of any size had a senior lumberjack called the Bull of the Woods, or the Bull Chopper. He was very good at sighting trees. He loved his job. He just sighted other men's trees. He'd be out there 4 in the morning, plumb bob, make some measurements, and then he'd go out and put a spike about 100 feet out in the ground, telling you exactly where he wanted that tree. You know, when I first moved up there, was up at the Kells. There used to be an old ranger. You can see it up there. The old life, the life. So I ended up talking to him. Remember the life? Did you enjoy the steaks? Once the lumber got to the ground, it had to be taken to the mill. They would drag it on skid roads. A skid road is basically a dirt road lined with logs, kind of like railroad ties without tracks. They'd be dragged by jerk teams. A jerk team was a team of oxen in twos, maybe 6, 8. The man who would walk next to him, his job title was bull whacker. And that's what he did. That's what bullwhips are all about. Having about an 18-foot bullwhip, he'd encourage those poor oxen to keep pulling. That was the most prestigious job in the valley. If you were the bull whacker, that was top notch. The term Skid Road, we all know that there's a nicest section of the town is called Skid Road. Actually, it comes from the old days of Skid Row. If you lived in a town where the logs came in, that was a horrible place to live, all dusty and dirty. Now there's no more logs coming in, but we still call that section of town Skid Row.
Stone Arch. That's a stone arch. Milepost 25.5. And after we cross here, we're approaching tunnel, used to be tunnel number 5. Half curved trestle. I mean tunnel, excuse me. You can see the stone there, that was the beginning of the tunnel entrance, which is graffiti. Continue on video 4, Monday, August 4th, 2025. see the other end of this tunnel. Should be coming up right about there. That's the tunnel entrance on the other side. It was a curved tunnel. It's not like the Mission Hill tunnel when it was straight. This was a curved one, like 30 feet tunnel. And now we're approaching the Garden of Eden. End of video 4. Monday, August 4th, 2025, 5 to 1.